signed?
Look. Look at these ones.
You're not gonna eat them, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Finn, sign it. So, weekly walk, July 26th.
How's your foot feeling?
It's a little sore today.
Good.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. We are in
Garryowen?
Garryowen, Montana. Little Bighorn.
We like to stop at the real small places.
This is a hot spot.
I don't even
Tourist
think
hotspot.
there's
Okay, so
a gas station.
the Little Bighorn battle site was about 5 miles that way. So
Wait,
that's
can you see our kids in the background?
our kids are out there.
I told them that they can catch crickets and that we'll fry them up and eat them tonight.
Okay, that was your idea. That was not my idea. So
Well, we were taking a walk and there was a dried one on the ground, and for shock value, I put it in my mouth, and they were like, "What? We're gonna eat them!" And
yeah,
I was like, "Oh great, Daddy's not gonna like this."
they're eating crickets. Oh, whatever.
Pop off the head and bring out the entrails. Reduces
Hang on,
the
let me
risk of
clean this.
parasites. Shat up your shirt.
Here we go. Okay. So,
Anyway, pop off their head.
how far are we into our trip? We left on the 18th.
I don't even want to know what
You just
day
lose
it
track
is.
of days and time.
It's
I think we're
Sunday, the 20.
yes, 26th. We're 8 days in,
That's it.
and we've made it all the way to eastern Montana.
I feel like we've been doing this for months. In a good way.
Right. Yeah.
In a good way.
Yes. Did you ever think that you'd be in
I didn't even
Garyville?
know this place existed. Garryowen.
Garryowen,
No, I didn't even
Montana?
know this place existed.
We should walk up that trail.
That's where we're going. We're
Okay.
going to put our rock up there.
So
See?
there's
Look,
this little
see?
trail. Oh yeah. So there's this
You
trail.
can't talk about this trail. You haven't even been up it. This is my second time.
You guys already went up
There's
it?
a trail.
Okay, so there's this trail. Look it. There's like a cross up there and an American flag way back there. So we're gonna go check it out.
Everybody gets a rock.
Everyone
It
gets
writes
a
their
rock.
family name on it. And
Let's talk about some highlights.
okay.
Let's talk about time with family.
I was just telling Brendan that when you're planning a trip, everybody centers everything about where you're going and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I told him today, I said, I don't care really where we go, because what makes this trip incredible is the time that we're spending together as a family.
Totally.
It's the fact that we just took a walk and caught crickets, and that Eamon found a fossil out in a field,
Yeah.
and that we played with this stray cat and we fed it every night that we stayed there.
Yeah.
So it's all of these little moments that have nothing to do with these national parks that really make up our trip and make it amazing.
Yes. Yeah, because what people are always like, okay, so where are you now? Are you going to Yellowstone? Are you going to Jackson Hole? Are you going to, it's like, we're going to Garryowen.
We're in Garryowen.
Garryowen, Montana, and it's
We're
just as
having the
cool.
best time ever.
Our kids are having an amazing time.
I think
And-
that's what you'll find too if you venture out, is that your kids just want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
The kids found cacti, out in the field, and so Finn wanted to do this big cactus tour where he walked me around the field. Oh, there's some right there.
What, cactus?
See?
Oh yeah.
So that was like the highlight of their night.
Cactus. Right.
So that was the highlight of their day, probably, is the crickets will definitely be the highlight.
Yeah.
But
So you guys already hiked up to this flag?
yeah,
Wow.
and then we walked down.
Dang, you guys went for it.
We went all the way out there.
This is amazing. I think it's so crazy to think about, like, we're on the Sioux Reservation. The Crow Reservation is right over there. You think about like General Custer and the 7th Cavalry and that whole scene, and the Native Americans, and this was their land,
There's just
and the
steeped in
battles. It's
history.
just crazy to be out here walking around. This is what I love, right? Like all of the history of this, because I can see
yeah.
this as it was when there was that battle.
realization the other day, we'll call it, that I love. Part of my experience traveling is going and exploring little towns. I absolutely love it. I could spend no money and all day and go around all the little shops
and stuff, and
I just think that's so much fun.
Yes.
And he has about an hour in him, and he's done.
63 minutes to be exact.
63 minutes.
And I'm
3
done.
minutes past an hour.
I'm done.
He's done, right? But he could go to every monument and historical site and spend hours there, and he would just think that's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, like, I'm good for an hour, but I would just rather not. But, so it's about finding a way to travel together where you get to do the things that you think are fun and I get to do the things that I think are fun.
Yeah.
I think that we're doing a pretty good mix.
Yeah. It's kind of practice for when I retire, right? And we're out just traveling alone. Obviously, kids make it fun.
Kids make everything
Kids make it really fun. There's like a crowd up here enjoying the beautiful sunset.
There's 3 people.
The Wyoming sunset.
4 people.
Or actually, this is the Montana sunset.
You know, a lot of people sit down and they plan out exactly where they're going, exactly how many miles they're going to travel a day, what they're going to hit up. And I think that's a cool way to travel. But we're just too lazy to take the time to sit down and do that planning.
I think also part of it is we want to go away from that aspect too. Like, we really like just taking in every day, because my job is planning to the nth degree, right? And so we kind of got to a point where I said, you know, why don't you plan the next week? Because I'm tired of planning.
I just noticed that it was starting to kind of stress him out about kind of where we were going and what we were doing.
I was looking at parks like in Yellowstone and Jackson, and they're all jam-packed. And I just got kind of tired of that whole aspect of it, and so just to be out here and
last night,
this is as good as Jackson.
Last night, Eamon and I sat down at the kitchen table, and I got this book at a secondhand store, and it talks all about fun facts about the national parks. And he pointed on the map and he said, Bighorn, I want to go there. So I said, okay. And that's where we are.
What's this guy doing?
It seems like he might be flying a kite.
Oh, there it is.
Let's go put our rock down.
Where?
Right here. Look. My wish was that we get to come back to Montana again. Like we've left that other world behind.
Yeah.
And that we're full-fledged in traveling mode.
Well, we were talking like that our house doesn't feel, our old house, it doesn't feel like our house anymore. To me, we've like closed that door, and when we walk into the RV, that feels like home now.
You know, my brother, I was talking to him today. He's in Calgary. Calgary? No, Toronto. He's in Toronto. And he was saying, hey, do you guys ever like want to rent an Airbnb or something like that? Yeah. And I told him, I was like, you know, honestly, I'd rather stay in an RV. It feels like home. It's got everything that we want.
What would we do with more than 300 square feet now?
It's just more space to clean.
I know. So the kids are out catching crickets that apparently you're going to cook up. On the barbecue outside. Oh, really? Because apparently they stink when you're cooking them. You can put them in the oven. Wow. Which we're not going to do. Look. Yeah. I made a promise to myself this trip to be a fun mom. Yeah. So if it means cooking crickets with my kids. That's it. And eating one. I love it. I'm going to throw some Lowry's on there. You're going to eat it? Dude, if they're going to get sick, I'm going to get sick too. So. That's true.
You should not eat it though.
I'm not going to eat it.
So you can drive us to the hospital.
We got to do like the airline thing where the captain and the first officer
eat a different meal.
Different meals.
So do you want
we
to
don't.
eat the dung beetle we found?
No,
You sure?
I'm not.
Okay, we also found
I'm
like
gonna
a great
eat-
horned beetle.
I'm gonna eat the stir
Hawk
fry.
Hawk loss.
The stir fry we bought at Costco.
Probably put the crickets in the stir fry.
No, I'm eating the stir fry we got from Costco. You guys eat crickets, and we'll see who feels better in the morning.
You know, with cows right over that ridge.
Well, that's not a buffalo.
Well, we saw giant tracks out there in the field.
Really?
Bigger than a cow, so.
Could be buffalo. So, southern Montana, pretty nice. Tomorrow we're gonna go to the site of the Battle of Little Bighorn,
Yep.
AKA Custer's Last Stand.
AKA Custer, what were you thinking?
Custer,
Dude. TF.
WYT. What were you? WWYT. What were you thinking? He went into this village with 200 some odd men against
He said,
an army of 2,500.
I got this.
Yeah,
but he didn't know.
He didn't have it.
So the tribes came together. And
So that'll be
hatched a
interesting.
plan. That didn't happen. That's not.
That'll be very interesting. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to get up and see it. And then we're gonna head down through Utah and that whole area. So someone asked us like, hey, so are you flying? Like, do you go somewhere and then I leave and I go fly? And the answer is no, I'm not flying right now. I'm off the entire month of July, the entire month of August.
Yep.
Not flying at all. And then I'm gonna be back working for September, and then my 9 months off starts October 1st. So what are we doing for those 9 months?
We
don't know.
Plans.
We have plans.
We have some balls up in the air, but it really just depends on what's going on with the country and COVID.
COVID right now is just, it's nasty out there.
Yeah.
And so we're just trying to keep as safe as we can. We're not gonna go anywhere that we feel like is a hot spot. We're not gonna do anything that jeopardizes the family.
I tell you what.
What?
Garryowen, not a hot
Garryowen is not a hot spot.
Not a hot spot.
We've got this. By the way, Costco
For the win.
for the win. I thought this was great just to be able to do this, but then I was reading like, no, you just get that wet. And so I got it wet with some cold water.
There's something about setting up. Are you okay?
Amazing.
You okay?
Yeah, amazing.
Now,
You get this cold.
I swear to God, we set up and it's just in the blazing heat always.
Yes.
And we're just
God,
like,
setup is such a
but do you know what happened
pain.
today? We had to like jerry rig our Anderson
Totally
block a
jerry
little
rigged
bit.
it.
It's not that jerry rigged, but
No, we Gary rigged it. Gary Owen rigged it.
Get this. I was gonna tell you this,
But
I just wanted to sit in the air-conditioned car, so I acted like I didn't know what I was doing.
she's like, why don't you come out and do this part and I'll do that part? And I'm like, okay, fine. And so then I went out there and did it, and it worked out.
He's
Kudos
balls over there.
to Matt and Lisa for sending us off with some 2x6s, because that saved us
handy.
again.
Well, we were like
Check out this
5
rig
inches
though.
left.
Look at that
Wow.
thing. That's like,
I feel
is
like
U2 in town? Because
I was
that feels
gonna
like
say
that's
Shania
the
Twain, maybe?
Shania Twain or U2. We're coming up to your bus tonight. We're getting a
Party
tour.
at the YouTube bus.
Party at the Shania Twain bus
I bet
tonight.
you we're gonna get back and they're gonna have like 20 crickets with their head popped off.
You told them how many crickets?
Well, I said 5, they said 10.
Oh, so you guys settled on 10?
I don't know. They said, what difference does it make? They'll all fit in the pan.
Well, that's
What
true.
do you say to that? Yeah, that's true.
I'm not cooking said crickets.
I will.
Okay. Check out this though. Beautiful, like sunflowers.
You know what's funny, B?
What?
Of all the things we did on our trip,
Yeah.
they're gonna remember this.
Yeah.
We'll
They're
take
not gonna
them
remember
to
Yellowstone.
Bryce Canyon, the Grand Tetons, whatever. Nope.
Yeah.
They're gonna
it's
remember
gonna be,
catching crickets and eating them.
It's so true. It's
with
like,
where we're going.
so our motto is we're not gonna plan where we're going until the night prior. We have about like a 160-mile range.
We
on
could go
any
longer.
one day.
But that was one of the big concerns that our oldest son said. He goes, I don't want to sit in the car all day.
Yeah, totally.
So we try to honor that.
Yep.
And so yeah, we kind of just go, okay, well, where can we get 3 hours? And is there an RV park? And okay, let's go there.
Right. I would like to do some more boondocking though, like kind of stuff out in the wild. I mean, RV parks are fine, but I kind of want to push myself a little bit.
He wants to go onto BLM land and get a flat tire.
Let's go get a flat on BLM land. That's my dream.
My dream is to see some bears.
I heard there's a lot of BLM land in Utah.
All right, let's do it.
Just
Utah,
me,
here we come.
you, 50 gallons of fresh water, an AC unit, a generator.
Oh, we're buying an AC unit?
Fresh food.
An additional AC unit?
Our generator's gonna run the AC unit.
Okay, I see.
But we're gonna rough it.
Ooh.
We're gonna rough it with our AC unit, our 35-foot trailer.
36. Come
36.
on.
Okay, we're gonna set up the queue here.
What if I use honey butter?
That stuff is gross.
You tried it?
Yes.
It was gross?
The first ingredient is corn syrup. Insects worldwide, and for a good reason. They are abundant, easy to catch, and packed full of protein. Pull off the legs and antenna and twist to remove the head. Oh my god. So did you twist to remove the head?
No, I just pulled it off.
Stir fry time?
Can I have this little? No, that's the weird one. Stir fry. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think that we should just... Look, I'll cook more up tomorrow night as long as we think it's it.
What?